What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. I'm a little late with this episode, but haven't had time to record anything. When was the last episode, actually? Uh, oh my goodness, it was 2 weeks ago. I almost went a whole month without an episode. That's embarrassing. We've got a high production setup here. This is what I've done with the second camera. I've simply set it up to just point at me, uh, or at the couch. Uh, I shaved my face yesterday. Um, my hair's still the same. It's just a little bit longer now. Obviously, I got these headphones for my birthday. It was my birthday recently. I turned 45. But yeah, this episode was gonna be filled with drama and politics, and like all the politics stuff in my doc is outdated now. And all the drama stuff, I'm still gonna talk about it, but I don't really care for the political stuff anymore because it's all outdated. And it's too much. I'll talk about one of them because one of them I do care about to an autistic level, to a weird extent. Um, I'm gonna get so annoying with this stupid camera. One of them I care about to an incredibly stupid extent. The other one the other one I don't care about that much at this point. So let's see. Actually, no, I will talk about this one. But first, I want to talk about something interesting. I want to talk about drama. Actually, I want to talk about something else first. I didn't address the elephant in the room, that there is a set of shelves behind me from the old set from my old room. We've got, let me not turn that way. Let me just cut to the other camera. We've got Star Wars shelf. It's all Star Wars. With no room for more. Even though I would love to have more. Now that I've settled in, I'm okay with the idea of more Star Wars stuff. My cartoon DVDs, so we got all these SpongeBob DVDs, seasons 1 through 3, the movie, and then like those specialized seasonal DVDs where it's like summer episodes, winter episodes. Still can't find my Halloween one. We've got Cartoon Network DVDs, so Amazing World of Gumball, Adventure Time, regular show. 2 Adventure Times, Billy and Mandy, stuff like that. Harry Potter books, Watchmen, all that stuff. We even got the Art of War, the Communist Manifesto, an Associated Press media guide, a book about mysterious haunted stuff in Georgia. And then we've got some other stuff. We got my Wii games. All this shelf is this looks almost identical to how it did on the old setup. Y'all just never saw it for the most part. You kind of saw it, the monkey cam. And I'll reveal where the monkey is in a second. But we got all my games. We've got Linus. I don't know how to point with this. We got Linus right here. This is a mouse pad that they sold for a while on the LTT store. We've got old CRT, tiny Etch-a-Sketch, Blu-ray player, car DVD player. I'm getting off track, but like you can see the resemblance to the old setup. And the monkey is actually up here. uh, he's right there. So yeah. Um. So yeah, it's been a pretty chaotic month, and I'm sorry that I haven't made a new episode. Hopefully, I can make, in addition to this episode, make another one before February ends, but I doubt it, which is really sad because this is my birth month. Um, but it's been chaotic, and I'll get into the details another time. It's still fresh, and I've got a bunch of stuff I have to do, and I don't want to talk about all of it now because it's still me talking about it now might alter the course of things. Um, but let's just say there's a lot of family drama involved, and it all stems from one person who's at fault, and it's not me. I've hinted at it a little bit in previous episodes that I was stressed and that I knew that I was going to have to leave that room eventually, and move out of that house. But yeah, I've never gone into full details. So more details. Sorry, I've got this production set up now. More details will come out in the future. So yeah, don't worry. But you know, I'll have more juicy deets in the future when I feel like blowing off steam. But let's just say I did not do all this by choice. If I had it my way, I would have kept my room and kept living there as long as I could. Um, if it was up to me personally, but it's not up to me. So oh, here we go. Oh yes. It's not up to me. So that's the frustrating part is that my freedom of choice was taken away. But we're here now. We've got the setup. I'm still here. The only thing that's different is the background and the chair. That's my other birthday gift. Shout out to my mom. She got me this Corsair chair, and it's actually very comfortable. I built it yesterday, and it's quite nice actually. The old chair that I was sitting in, two of the wheels snapped off at the old house because I was rolling around on carpet. Obviously, you can tell it's a little easier for me to roll around now because I'm on a solid floor. Um, so hopefully I don't encounter that kind of problem. But yeah, new chair, courtesy of my mom. New headphones, courtesy of my girlfriend. They're also wireless. What battery are they at? Still high. Um, Battery gauge notification area. Hell yeah, I want it in the notification area. Ooh, that's so cool. Oh yes. Oh yes. That's so neat. Um, but yeah, what was I even saying? I guess that's the setup. I did find out while plugging in the wireless dongle for these, so I have the wire plugged into the old USB slot so they can charge, but also I can use them as wired headphones if I really wanted to. The frustrating thing is how short the cable is. This cable reaches to here, obviously, but it like goes across my chest, and I'm not a fan. Um, it's USB-C though, which is pretty nice. But the cable is plugged in. I went to the back of the computer to plug in the wireless dongle. Dude, I have two USB 3 ports open. All of my USB ports were filled to the brim. So what am I missing? What devices did I not plug in? That's what I'm confused about. I have I have so many devices plugged into this computer. I had to get an expansion card and add 3 new USB 3A ports, USB-A 3.0 ports, and it came with 2 USB-C ports, and so I used those as well to charge my phone and to charge my AirPods. I have nothing in the USB-C port on the motherboard as to free up USB hub space. If you know anything about computers, then you know what I'm talking about. Freeing up PCIe power for those ports. I got nothing plugged into the other 2 ports. What's going on? That's really weird. That shouldn't be the case. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how I'm missing 2 devices, but I mean everything's accounted for, it seems. I don't know. Maybe that frees me up for another camera? Who knows? Maybe I can plug in the old C920, which is right next to this one. The C922 or whatever this one is. I have the C920 right next to it, not plugged in. What have I been up to these last couple of weeks? I did my birthday celebration, which was fun. The corporate executives at my job sang me happy birthday, which was cool. Big change from my old job where they forgot my birthday 2 years in a row. Um, let's see. Played D&D for the first time since August. We haven't jump started our campaign since August. When me and Wesley did our episode in August, we then went on vacation right after it came out. We did a D&D session, and I don't think we've played since. So this is I believe the first time we've played since then. Let's see. I think I already mentioned that I shaved, right? Yeah, I shaved my beard. I trimmed it, but it's kind of still there, but not really. And yes, that is indeed a treadmill behind the shelf. I don't take up all the space in this garage. Um, I take up this corner, but the treadmill, that tool chest, the filing cabinet, all that stuff, not mine. Even the table next to me, this white table, not mine. That right there is mine. I'm sure you remember that from being on my chair if you've watched this podcast before. It's covering up like a bunch of crap that I'm storing on the table that I thought looked not great on camera. Anyway, let's get to the drama. What am I doing? Girlfriend's playing this game called PAX Day. PAXDEI. She seems to like it. It's an early access. She seems to like it. And yeah, that's my random thought at the moment. Let's get to this drama. So I've talked about it before. I used to be a pretty big H3 head, to the extent that I even, like, me and a friend recreated the H3 theme on like an old Casio keyboard. Oh, there's a listeria outbreak. Oh my god. So pretty old fan. I always say, I won't lie. This is definitely me while I'm driving. Stuff like that. And so it's been pretty disappointing to see that the empire is going down in the toilet, in the drain. And I talked about it last episode, but after that episode came out, he got sued by a former housekeeper. Sorry, I was informing members of the household that I'm indeed recording a podcast. Not that they care. He's being sued by his former housekeeper, and I'll pull up the lawsuit. because this is pretty insane what they're accusing him of. And honestly, I would not be surprised. Obviously, these are all alleged, but these are some pretty serious complaints. So the lawsuit says, here are the complaints. So it's the housekeeper versus Teddy Fresh Incorporated, Ethan Klein and Ethan Klein, or Ela Klein and Ethan Klein. My bad. Violation of California Family Rights Act, disability discrimination in violation of FEHA, retaliation in violation of FEHA, failure to provide reasonable accommodation, failure to engage in interactive process, failure to take reasonable steps to prevent discrimination, retaliation in violation of California paid sick leave, wrongful termination in violation of public policy, failure to provide meal and rest period, failure to pay overtime, failure to pay state and local minimum wage, failure to pay all wages due, failure to furnish wage statements, waiting time penalties, failure to provide personnel records, unfair competition in violation of these codes, and demand for a jury trial as well. I feel like, so these are all alleged. I don't know what to comment with, because all of this stuff is very interesting given recent events. The lawsuit alleges that the housekeeper informed Ela of hernia surgery that she was going to have 1 month from that point, and then they allegedly fired her a couple days later. A moderator on the H3 Stark subreddit gave a little bit of a TLDR. Thank God. I don't have the attention span to read cases. So God bless this person. An ex-employee is alleging she was fired for requesting time off to recover from hernia surgery and is seeking damages. According to this document, when asked why she was fired, the client said that it was because they were going a different direction and because this person apparently had an issue with the nanny. If there's anything of importance I've missed, please reply with it here. Also, general reminder that blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, here's the wage theft section, specifically, that was alleged. The plaintiff alleges that, there was wage theft involved. Pretty insane. Failure to pay for off-the-clock work. I feel like, as a public figure, here, I'll pull up the no break section, so I pull up everything. As a public figure, let's say this is true. As a public figure, why would you do this? You have the money. As an H3 fan, former, I remember when they were poor and started getting big and were able to start buying things like more extravagant. Why would you not pay your housekeeper? Why would you exploit your housekeeper? And like, if you know the about the capitalism versus socialism debate that he had on his podcast, this makes a lot more sense if it's true. Here's the overtime section, by the way. Sorry, it's cut off with the webcam, by the way. I don't understand why, as a public figure, you would engage in something like this. I guess I also don't understand, as a human being, why you would deprive someone of money that they've earned doing hard labor for you. Something that you've decided is too much for you to do. You've hired someone to do something that you've determined yourself you personally would not want to do for free. And so you hire this person to do it for you, and then you decide that they're going to do it for free. That, I don't know. That's just gross. It's gross behavior, if true. I have to keep saying that because this isn't in my docs. It's new information, but allegedly he seems to possibly be trying to sue members of the H3 Snark subreddit. For what, I don't know. But I'm saying alleged because apparently critiquing the almighty father of H3 gets you a big fat lawsuit, it seems. Ethan then decided to respond to this lawsuit publicly, which, by the way, big mistake. Like, I don't know why you would do something like that. Which one did I just open first? Oh, okay, so here's his response on his story. He said, "Our former housekeeper was fired for being horrifically rude to our boy's nanny, constantly calling her fat and asking when she gained all the weight. I gave her so many warnings, hoping she would just stop, and she didn't. But she didn't. She was part of our family, and we treated her like it. I tried everything to salvage the relationship, but her conduct was inexcusable. This is all documented with HR, which hopefully makes this an easy matter to settle." Now, that's a weird part, that it's all documented with the Teddy Fresh HR. And people have made note that it seems that she was probably employed through Teddy Fresh Incorporated, which is also really strange. I don't know how strange it is, but to me it feels strange. Why you would hire a personal housekeeper for your home through your business. I guess it's so that it makes the accounting easier. I know that the H3 podcast is technically owned by the same company that owns Teddy Fresh, which is like TED Entertainment or something like that. I know that there's some connection there. Maybe it's just for accounting or for tax purposes, but it does, or just to make it easier to pay her out. But I feel like it would have been easier to just pay her directly. You know, I guess in case you want a tax withholding, but just do the math on that and then submit it to your accountant. Like, I don't know. This is what I'm saying. This is so weird. The part about her asking for time off for hernia surgery and then being fired is 100% fabricated. Anyone that knows us or works for us knows that that is not something we would ever do. I care deeply for all of our employees and do everything in my power to do right by them. She tried to shake us down for a huge amount of money, which I immediately declined, knowing our innocence and refusing to ever concede to people like her. This is in response to Jake Chinatown, a big anti-H3 head, by the way. Love Jake. Posting about the lawsuit. But yeah, that's his first response. Then he follows it up with, "It's also worth mentioning that this is extremely common when you employ a lot of people. Surprised it didn't happen sooner." I don't think it's that common. I really don't. I really don't understand why someone would say something like that. It's not that common. People don't just get sued left and right for misconduct. Next thing he's going to say is it's really hard as the employer to win these cases. Literally. Immediately after this, by the way, keep in mind, he said the housekeeper was calling the nanny fat, and that was one of the reasons they fired her. Keep that in mind. Mike from PA, who does not like Ethan for his views about Israel-Palestine, covers the lawsuit. Mike from PA is also someone who has studied law, and so he's pretty well versed in stuff like this. Ethan goes and calls Mike fat in the worst, most cringe joke possible. This guy calls himself a comedian, by the way. He says, "Get a load of this dumb fat loser." Mike from PA, more like Mike from NA, because the scale says NA when he steps on it. Cringe joke. I mean, literally, cringe alert. Big cringe alert. Why? Why would you say something like that? That's just beyond cringy at that point. Anyways, yeah, he calls Mike from PA fat, which is literally the exact behavior that he's accusing the housekeeper of. Which, by the way, and I hope she does this. Someone mentioned this, that if Ethan constantly calls people fat on the H3 podcast, the H3 podcast is part of that business. And they said there is a possible way that you could argue that that is simply the workplace culture, is to call someone fat because the owner of the company does it on a regular basis. Someone brought that up. I don't know how real that is, but that would be hilarious if it was. Ethan also had fat-phobic comments about the housekeeper.
I guess I'll just talk about the lawsuit because everybody's being annoying
Also, the editing is because they're trying to avoid the copyright censors.
about it, and I just want to set the record straight as soon as possible on this before Hassan reacts to it on stream or something, which I'm sure he's gonna do any day now. Shut up!
Random Hassan mention, by the way. Very random and very strange.
Which is why I put out my
Also, why is bro so thin? Oh my god.
which I'm sure he's gonna do any day now. Shut up! Which is why I put out my my Instagram statement immediately. Let me read that. Let's start there. Oh, we don't have that.
I'll grab it one sec.
Yeah, it should be on the subreddit. So
I don't have time to sit through this 13-minute clip. Hope you're enjoying the episode. If you want to support us, you can go over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. You can subscribe for $10 a month to get bonus content. Or you can subscribe for $1 or $3 a month if you just want to support us. There's also higher tiers if you want to support us even more, even harder. But you don't have to. So head on over to patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. And for $10 a month, you can get the bonus episodes and even bonus content like the outtakes for this little segment. So thanks for supporting us and thanks for listening. One of the most damning clips, I will say, is this one. And this one actually really upsets me. And I have a really interesting thought on this because I feel like this makes Ethan the biggest hypocrite. So Ethan randomly decided to attack this guy Jake Doolittle when Jake was like in the hospital or something. And Ethan starts on air, this is a while back, from See You Next Tuesday 92. He on air starts talking about why he doesn't hire people with chronic illness. Jake Doolittle claims that he has a chronic illness, which I'm sure he does. I don't know why somebody would lie about that. He claims that he has a chronic illness, and more than likely does. And Ethan decides to talk about why he doesn't hire people with chronic illnesses.
Dude, imagine if you hired this guy because he was applying.
You'd never be able to get rid of
Oh.
him. He is an HR nightmare.
No, he wanted
Imagine if you hire this guy, you can never get rid of him. He's an HR nightmare.
a job. That's what he.
You would never be able to get rid
I've
of
worked
him.
with people like this, and the thing is, once you work with someone like this, you start realizing, oh, this is why there's such like strict HR interviewing process.
Oh, yeah.
Like 20 layers.
Because you'll never shake that guy.
not only that, like when you realize that, like not only are they not helpful, but they're like detrimental to everybody in the environment and everything around them. When you try to fire them, they will 1000% file a discrimination lawsuit.
It's California, so
lie,
it's
make
tough.
anything up.
Yeah, to beat those. Jake could be in the other seat someday. Possibly.
No shot. There's no
Co-host?
chance.
Co-host
He blows
potential?
and he sucks.
0% chance.
I
I'll
hear
ever
he
work
worked
here.
on SNL. That's a
Coveted
that's
job.
a big resume line.
Yeah.
You know?
New writer.
Wrote some of the greatest bits.
Dude, I wouldn't.
I don't like that he openly says that he would violate the ADA and violate the civil rights statutes and all this stuff. I don't like that he's openly saying that he would violate these laws. And I will bring up an interesting point. So I have Tourette's syndrome, and so does Ethan. And so without those legal protections, somebody could make the argument that I'm unhireable because I might have like a Tourette's attack or something, or I might make the customers uncomfortable or the other employees uncomfortable and use my Tourette's as a reason not to hire me. And that would be incredibly illegal in that case. And so saying that someone with a chronic illness brings down everyone around them and is a damper on the team and on the environment, so disgusting and so hypocritical too. You know, those laws that he's criticizing, those are the exact laws that allow people like him and like me to continue existing in the workforce to some extent. Here's him years ago criticizing someone named Ryan Kavanaugh for being sued by his babysitter.
Speaking of Ryan Kavanaugh and hell, imagine being this guy, Hollywood executive, well, ex-executive, he bankrupted his business, sued by babysitter and wage spat. It's not just a babysitter, she was a night nurse. That's when you have a newborn baby and they take care of the baby at night. It's such an important job.
They take care of your newborn baby.
Here, Hollywood producer, not anymore, and financier, not anymore. He's being sued by a former babysitter for his newborn child who alleges she is owed more than $175,000.
You get the point. A bit of a interesting clip considering yeah, I don't know. An interesting clip considering he's also now being sued by a housekeeper, and he immediately goes on the defense. And then here is Mike from PA calling the housekeeper's lawyer.
Ethan Klein is just being racist, like literally. Like he doesn't know what Turkish people look like. So he's just calling.
So the context of this clip is that Ethan then went on his Instagram story and said that Hassan's mom, or said that Hassan has a secret housekeeper, and says that he just grunts at her, and that's how they communicate pretty much. And he tries to keep her a secret. And people have theorized that the person Ethan's thinking about is Hassan's mom,
a Hispanic lady. Also, the idea of like he's just making bullshit accusations to distract from the fact he's being sued for being a terrible employer. What a fucking scumbag! You know what I'm gonna do? I'm sure they know this, but I'm gonna call up the attorneys of that lawsuit and let them know just to make sure they're like. I'm assuming they're aware, but honestly, they might not be. And I think Ethan's like, you know, his show would be kind of useful for them. So that I'm gonna do that real quick.
Or a much needed.
All right, chat. I gave a call over to her. I gave a call. I talked to them, and they're gonna be looking into it. I just figured no one would actually reach out to the attorneys and be like, "Hey, the guy you're suing is like defaming your client."
Yeah, I assume this is why they haven't mentioned the lawsuit. I assume this is why they haven't mentioned it since then, because their lawyer probably told them to shut up. So here's some bonus clips. I want to show where, after all of this, Ethan decided to go on this really gross, I would argue misogynistic tirade against another creator named Denims, who he already got banned last year for some trumped up accusation of being anti-Semitic. Here's the clip of, and warning by the way, here's a clip of Ethan calling her a bitch. Oh, this is actually the clip of him defending calling her a bitch. He goes like hard. He's like, this woman's a bit, like he goes nuts on it.
Just don't.
Just don't. I don't know how much got cut. Let's see here. Let me go back.
Listen, your critique of her is correct. It's just, you know, people are sensitive about women being called that word, and so.
And I'm
leave it out.
sensitive. I intentionally don't do that.
Your
And here's
passion
the thing.
and frustration with her is very justifiable.
I absolutely 1000% stand on that. Zero apology for it. Zero. If anybody in the world deserves that label, she's going to fucking sit on it and stand on it and own it. That's how I feel about her. She's a horrible human being. And by the way, using that term, which is like people say, oh, it's disrespectful to women. She's disrespectful to women.
Apparently, they cut a lot of that out of the original episode, him calling her a bitch. Let me look. Oop, I spelled her name wrong. Denims. See if I can find the clip. Where's the clip of him just going nuts on it? Oh, here we go.
Last time.
Now his take, which again, this guy was apparently my friend, is that
Here we go.
somebody that laughs in the face of other fucking rape victims and immediately calls them liars, that's a fucking bitch of a person.
You see how he hits that? Listen to how he hits that B.
I've come here and I have made the distinction. I have decreed, let it be known, that Denims is a dumb fucking bitch.
So that's one of the bonus clips that I have. The other one is him criticizing Hassan's union-made merch. That post is gone. Oh, I think it got taken down. Yeah, I think this got wiped. They might have been a victim of the sweep. The copyright sweep. That's sad. Anyways, that's all the drama. I had one about how he went after one of the biggest drama subreddits on Reddit, and now he's being clowned on by them, but it's whatever. Just go and check it out for yourself. Moving on, because I want to talk about other stuff. That was my matter of law segment. Back to the fun stuff. Dual camera angle. How awesome is this? Here, look at this. We can even get double me. How awesome is that? So let's talk about something that I was reading about, which is something called the February theory. Valentine's Day is over, but it's still February. And I would like to discuss this. This camera looks so bad. I don't understand. Like, this one looks perfect. This one is so blown out. Alright, let's talk about the February theory. The February theory is that you'll fall in love. Obviously, it's more than that. The theory is that you would fall for someone in February, or one of your exes would return to your life in February. So the whole theory is predicated on this whole, like, if you're single, you're gonna fall for someone. If you're not single, or you are single and you're not looking for anybody, one of your exes might try to come back into your life. This has not happened to me personally during my current relationship, thank God. Yes. It happened to me 8 years ago, but not recent, which is good. Not in the last 4 years. So, this is my 5th February and this still hasn't happened. The whole theory, my personal opinion on the theory is that Valentine's Day makes people lonely and that they simply start fucking around. And the part of the theory that got me the most intrigued was the exes going back to exes in February. It was the whole like, if you're in a relationship, watch out for one of your exes to come back. That was the most interesting part to me. I think it's interesting when, and it's also very telling of character, when someone who knows you're in a relationship will try to sneak back into your life and take you for themselves. I don't know. I don't have much more of a nuanced opinion than that one. Like, I don't know what you want from me on this. The February theory thing is not that interesting at the end of the day. Once I spell it out like that, it makes a lot more sense, and all of a sudden nobody cares. Let's talk about these things that I seemingly care about. The Trump administration got rid of Colleen Shogan. She is the head of the National Archives. This is the thing that I said that only I would care about, is the National Archives director being dismissed. She was pretty much fired. There appears to be no other reason to do this besides Trump wanting a loyalist running the National Archives. And yeah, she began in 2023. People have theorized that it had something to do with like NARA requesting the classified documents with the subsequent FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. Not possible, considering she didn't work for NARA during that time, or wasn't the active director. So I'm upset that the National Archivist is gone. I'm a big stickler for archiving stuff. You should know that I have a 4 terabyte hard drive that is quite literally just a big archive of everything that I have. Like all of the episodes of this podcast are archived on this drive. Here, I'll give you a little taste of what that looks like. Anything that I can't show? No, I can show everything on here. Here you go. This is a little taste of what the Forbidden Land archive folder looks like. There you go. Broken up in by year. Here, I'll even open one of them. There you go. Thumbnails are in here. The list of episodes and when they came out. The 4 episodes from this year so far. All that stuff. How cool is that? So I'm a big stickler for stuff like that. Makes me sad. To see that they are... To see that that person's gone. Can't you tell I'm crying right now? But yeah, I'm a little annoyed. The other thing that I'm gonna talk about is the thing that I wasn't gonna talk about that I said was boring is the White House halting aid to South Africa. They're doing it. Actually, they didn't say why specifically. They kind of did, but the reason is really thinly veiled and really stupid. The reason is that Trump claimed a new law in South Africa is discriminatory towards the white minority, is what he said. There's a law called the Expropriation Act. The president of South Africa signed it into law. I'm not even going to try to say his name right. It allows the government to take land in specific instances where it is not being used or where it would be in the public interest if it is redistributed, which just sounds like eminent domain in the US, does it not? Does it not just sound like eminent domain? I don't believe the reason. It's too coincidental. The first Trump administration didn't give 2 shits about South Africa. Now all of a sudden they do. My reasons were that, one, they're doing it because South Africa is suing Israel in the ICJ. You know, duh. My other theory, Elon Musk is a white South African. This could have been Elon's doing. My third theory And the most complicated of all, racism. I think Trump's just really racist. Shocker. Oh my god. Who would have thought? But yeah, those are my theories. Okay. That is all for my doc. I don't have anything else from my doc to talk about that is not horrific, unbelievably sad news. And by that I mean literally the last topic is just a little sad. So I won't be talking about it. Alright. Welcome to the secret corner now. We're in the end part of the episode. You've made it this far. This is my secret corner. Said that really creepy. This is my secret corner. Let's compare this setup to the old setup. I should have an old picture from the podcast. So let's look. Oh, this is perfect. I took this around Christmas time. This actually might make me upset, but it's fine. We're going to look at it anyways. So let's compare the current setup to the old one. And let's do a little bit of debriefing. And I'll even give some lore about the old setup. So here's a picture of the old setup. And, you know, we got, well, my Christmas presents for one. But we have this ottoman, which we did throw out, by the way. It was free from a customer at my old job. We threw it out. I don't have the space for it. We got rid of it. One of the legs was coming off. So there's a futon actually right here, right off camera. Threw that out too. It was also kind of broken, and I didn't want it anymore. I've had it since 2018. So 7 years. I am getting a little upset looking at this photo, though. I really liked this room. This was my dream room growing up. When I was like 15, I used to watch all these YouTubers, and I was like, God, they have an office in their house separate from their bedroom. Oh, that's so cool. And then I had a friend at the time. He was like my best friend. And he had this gaming room. It was the room above their garage. And it was like the biggest room upstairs. That wasn't like a master bedroom type deal. And it was like their gaming room. They had all these TVs and these game consoles hooked up. And so I took that and I took the YouTuber thing. I wanted a space to work on YouTube videos, to edit, all that, like an editing station, a gaming station, whatever. And then have like the gaming TV stuff where I could just chill on a couch and play games. And so that's what I did. I had my Xbox and Wii U on the TV stand. I had the big TV right here, and I would, you know, play games on it. There's an old Kinect right here, which is pretty funny. I don't think I've ever used it for anything. I had a record player right here, a coffee machine, a fridge down here, all this food stuff. I literally had this whole setup. Like it was like a little kitchen corner. And then I had this shelf back here, which, you know, you'll recognize the let me pull up the second camera. You'll recognize like the CRT right here and the Lego helmet and stuff like that. Like all this was brought over. But it makes me upset. We had the recliner, which nobody ever really sat in. My grandpa actually gave me this recliner, and it was pretty much brand new when he gave it to me. This is going to go into storage. I'm not getting rid of this recliner. There's no way I can. It's too nice. I want to bring it with me when I have my own space. I had these tapestries on the wall. I had my wall of Hot Wheels, which I wish I had taken a more encompassing photo of before I took it down. I had all my posters up, and then I have my desk in the corner. Right here, this end table is actually in this room. It's right here. If I could learn how to point. Right here. That's the end table. And then the other one is behind the desk. Because I'm actually not against the wall. I'm actually in the middle of the room. The desk is quite literally in the middle of the room. There's like 5 feet of space behind this desk. But it makes me sad. And I'll be able to tell the story at another time. Same camera angle, same mic, same guy. The chair is a little different and the headphones are different, but who cares? Same person, same mic, same angle. Different camera, actually. This was recorded before I swapped cameras. Completely different background. And I will never not stop thinking about this office. I loved this room. I'm telling you, this was my dream room. And I had it for over 7 years, longer than I ever deserved it. And yeah, it makes me upset that I didn't get to hold on to it for longer than that. And I wish it was of my own choice to leave it behind. I always envisioned a day where I come to my dad and I go, hey, it's time for me to move out, be on my own. And him be like, all right, and then we with tears in our eyes, we're packing the car, the van or whatever, moving out into like an apartment or something. That didn't happen, obviously. Yeah, the reasons for me leaving are far more tragic than that. So, not tragic, but just upsetting. But I'm making this space comfortable. It's nice, it's neat. I haven't really streamed much. I have a lot of internet problems in here. With the Ethernet and everything, so I have to sort that out. But other than that, I hope I can make more stuff soon. Yeah. Well, an idea I have that I want to do, and I hope I don't miss out on doing this, because I only have one opportunity to do this. When the room is completely empty, because it's still not empty yet. The recliner is still here in that room, and the LEDs are still on the walls. But everything else is pretty much gone. Oh, and the TV stand is still here too with the TV on it. Everything else is pretty much gone. Everything's unplugged. This whole floor is like cleared. The rug I used to run over with my chair every day that eventually caused the wheels to rip off. Yeah, that's still there. That's because I'm kind of taking too long on the whole process. But when the room is completely empty, I'm going to record one last episode in it. I'm going to set up my camera in vaguely the same spot, and I'm going to sit in a chair, probably going to be like a lawn chair, and I'm going to have my laptop with me recording the entire thing. That's my plan. I'm going to record one last goodbye episode in the room. Anyways, sorry for the depressing ending. I'm reminiscing, because I really did love this room. And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's just a room, who cares? I care. I care, I cherish my space. Here, let me find a more seasonally appropriate screenshot. Yeah, here. Oh my god, my hair, dude. When was that taken? Hold the phone. When was this picture taken? Hey. Oh my god, dude, my hair. I look awful in that photo. What was I thinking? I look sickly. I kind of was sick. Mentally. The room's a lot more clean in this photo too. I think I had just cleaned it. But oh, this is a screenshot from episode 88. Dang. Dang. This would have been September probably. Yeah. No, it would have been October because the skull is gone because the skull was over here now. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. But yeah. Cool. A lot more clear shot of what's going on in this photo or in this room. Anyways, that's, lore dump over. That's a funny photo to end up on. What a funny bit. It also kind of encapsulates like what else was going on in the room. Like my beanie rack, my other tapestry that's actually in this room. Actually, all the tapestries are in this room. Folded and under the table. Okay. From me and my second camera, me and my two cameras. I hope you have a good day, a good week, a good night, a good evening even. And yeah, thanks for watching. You can listen to this podcast on streaming services, and you can subscribe to us on Patreon at patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go watch Dexter. That's the other thing. I've been watching a lot of Dexter. Since I've moved in here 3 weeks ago, I've watched seasons 1 through, I'm like almost to the end of 6. I'm insane. I'm a monster when it comes to watching TV shows. Go subscribe on patreon.com/forbiddenlandpod. Listen to the bonus episodes. Maybe I'll have a bonus episode talking about the situation early before I go fully public with it. It's nothing like illegal or anything. It's yet. It's just frustrating. And I want to get it off my chest, but I don't know when I'm going to do that yet. So go subscribe to that if you want to see that potentially. All right. Have a good one. Oh, that's a tennis racket right there. All right, peace.